So this is concept 2.3. It says energy flow in ecosystems. Activity number 1. This is in page 106 in your textbook. It says, can you explain energy flow in ecosystems? Energy flow in ecosystems. Look at these zebras. These are wild donkeys that eat grass. So the question says, can you explain energy flow in ecosystems? How can the energy that the animals use for their body repair, growth, motion, and body warmth be tracked back to the sun? Do you remember in the food chains, we were tracking the matter and the energy from one organism to another. But in this question, it is asking about tracking back the energy from the animals to the sun. So this is like moving in the opposite direction. We already know that the animals get the energy that their body needs from eating other plants or animals that already have energy inside their bodies. And these plants have used the energy from the sun to make the energy that their bodies need. So let's read this part together. Look at the answer right here. Okay. I need Iyad. Iyad?
Yes, master.
Can you read the highlighted part, please?
Okay, all of the energy that animals use can be tracked back to the sun. The sun is at the beginning of the food web, allowing plants to make their own food. Then an animal will eat the plant, and
Yes.
other animal will eat that animal, and so on. The sun starts it all.
So this is how can we track the energy from any animal back to the sun, right?
Mister, I don't understand very much the question that he said for us.
Okay, this is great. Listen to me. It says, how can the energy in animals be tracked back to the sun? So the animals in their body, they have energy that they use to repair their body, growth, motion, and body work. So the animals,
Track means how to return
yes,
the energy to the sun.
how to trace it back to the sun, to its source. We have energy in our body, right?
Yeah.
So how can we track this energy back to the sun, or how this energy is related to the sun? We eat animals like cows, for example, right?
Yeah, and when we
Okay.
eat, and also when we eat
So
plants.
when we eat the cows, for example, when we eat meat, when we eat a chicken, so we get the energy from these animals into our body, right?
Yeah.
But where did these animals get the energy in their body from eating the plants, right?
Right.
And from which part or from where did the plants get the energy that their body needed? From the sun, right?
Right. Yeah. The animals bring the energy from the sun.
The plants take the energy from the sun. Then it is stored in the plant's body. Then when herbivores eat the plants, they take the energy from the plants that they got from the sun. When we or other animals eat the plants, so we get the energy stored in the plants that was stored from the sun, or used from the sun, right?
Right.
This is what it talks about. Now you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Iyad. Okay, guys, then let's move to the next activity. This is activity number 2. It says, ask questions like a scientist. The sun and the plants. This is a wonder statement. This is like making questions or asking questions. You have heard a teacher or a friend tell you that the sun is so important to life on Earth. The sun is so important to life on Earth. What do you wonder about the sun? What questions do you have about the sun? What questions do you have about the sun? Zaid?
Mister, I didn't finish.
Okay, you will find the answers uploaded to Coursera as usual. And if we have some time at the end of the period, I'll let you see and copy the answers. Don't worry about this. Okay?
You have heard a teacher or friend tell you that the sun is important to life on earth. What do you wonder about the sun? Write down what you wonder about the sun.
So,
Mister, the sun
when
gives the
you hear the word sun, or when you see the sun, so you must have questions about how the sun works, or what is the temperature of the sun, or anything else, right?
yes.
Okay, thank you, Zaid. Okay, guys, so this is the wondrous statement. Then let's watch this video together. It says, watch the video, then complete the activity that follows. Now, I want you to pay attention, please, while we watch this video together.
Our sun is very important. It provides Earth with light and heat. Without the sun, life as we know it would not exist. For example, plants use the sun's light energy to make food. Plants produce oxygen that we breathe, and we eat fruits and vegetables made by plants. None of this could occur without the sun. Without the sun, Earth would become a cold, dark place. As we mentioned, the sun is a star. It's a huge object that's 1 million times larger than Earth. It's also the closest star to us. You describe. What does the sun look like? The sun looks very hot, and its surface is actually moving. This movement is the result of very hot gases and other materials exploding. Temperatures on the sun's surface can reach 1.7 million degrees Celsius.
Okay, grade 5, so this was about the sun. Let's see what questions do we have here. This is graphic organizer. Write the following claim in your graphic organizer. So this is the claim that you will write down in the first box. Okay, all organisms on Earth depend on the sun, and we already have studied and learned about this part, right? As you work through the concept, collect the evidence to add to your graphic design. So we'll only write down in the part of claim that all organisms on Earth depend on the sun. Then the evidence and reasoning will be during the whole concept. So we'll leave it for now. Then let's move to activity number 3. Activity number 3, it says evaluate like a scientist. What do you already know about energy flow in ecosystems? Where do they get energy? Where do they get energy? They are talking about, we're asking about these organisms. We have rabbit, cougar, grass, and red fox. Let's see. Look at the organisms on the left. Drag the images of the organisms into the blanks to show which one eats which organism goes at the top of the list, and drag the organism it eats underneath. Continuing doing this until all the organisms are listed. So here it asks you to put the organism in the blanks to show which one eats which. So this is like moving from the top predator to the producers. Okay, which one eats which? And as you can see, A that will eat A, then which will eat A, which will eat, this is the last one. So we need to order these from the one that eats the lower one, then the one that eats the one below, and so on. Okay, it says which organism goes at the top of the list. Then drag the organism it eats underneath. So the one that is eaten is underneath, okay? So I need someone to help me with this. Abdulrahman Al-Harbi.
The grass.
The grass? What do you mean by the grass?
The grass gets eaten by the rabbit.
So
What about the grass?
where can we put the grass here? In which box?
At the top, at the one is
At-
A only.
At the top? No. No, if you put the grass at the top, it says a grass will eat a rabbit, or this is the opposite.
Go down, go down, go down.
So the grass will be the last one, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's enough. This is great. Muhammad Abdul Hafiz, what will eat the grass?
Rabbit.
The rabbit will eat the grass. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, Mustafa Abdul Azim, what will eat the rabbit?
The red fox.
The red fox will eat the rabbit. Excellent. Mahmoud, what will eat the red fox?
Mr. Wait, I don't understand how sunlight return energy returning to sunlight.
Okay, I need you to answer this question and I answer it.
It's cougar.
The
It
cougar,
is-
yes. So in this list, a cougar will eat the red fox. Then the red fox, which will eat the rabbit, which will eat the grass. Okay, so Mahmoud,
Yes.
you are asking about the first activity where the energy is tracked
Yes, I
back to
don't
the sun.
understand.
Okay, as I illustrated to Iyad, this is the same. The energy in our body, where do we get the energy in our body from eating the food? Whether it is
Yes.
plants or animals, right?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
and the energy of the animals that we eat, like chicken, for example. Okay,
Yes.
so where did the chicken get the energy in its body? From eating the plants, right?
Yes.
And where
Yes.
did the plants get the energy from?
Plants.
Yes.
Sunlight.
From sunlight. So we also get the energy that our body needs from sunlight, but in an indirect way. We get the energy in our body from the food we eat, like animals, and these animals get the energy in their body from the plants they eat, and the plants get the energy from the sun. This is how we can track the energy back to the sun.
Mr. But how, Mr. Back to the sun? Yani, the energy will fly and go
No,
to the
no,
sun.
this is tracking, not moving. We need to know the origin or the source of energy in our body. So we ask the questions, where did our body get the energy from? From the food we eat. Then this food
Yes.
is the energy. If we eat animals, we get the energy from the plants they eat. And then these animals get these plants get the energy from the sun. This is tracking. This is like knowing the source or finding the source of the energy that we get our energy from. Not flying, not moving the energy, just knowing the source of the energy.
It means the source of energy that the source of energy we take is food, like this.
Yes, sure. We take
Okay,
the energy
okay.
from food.
Okay.
Now you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, the next part is food webs. Look at the image and describe which organisms eat other organisms. Look at this part carefully. This is coral reef food web. Just a second. Coral reef web. Look at this picture right here. So as you can see, it must start with a producer. like algae and diatoms. These are organisms that make their own food in the sea, so they are producers of the sea. Then what eats the algae and diatoms? Since the arrow is pointing away from the organism, so it refers to the one that eats it. So the algae is eaten by sea urchins, eaten by zooplanktons, eaten by clam. Then the clam is eaten by the sea star, right? The zooplankton is eaten by corals. Then the corals are eaten by the butterfly fish, the triggerfish, and the parrotfish, right? Then the shark eats all the types of fish, parrotfish, triggerfish, and butterfly fish. This is a coral reef food web. So I need you to pay attention, please. Okay, then let's move on. The question says, describe which organisms eat other organisms. So I'll tell you what. Sea urchins and zooplankton and the clams, they all eat algae and diatoms. Also, the sea star eat clams. The coral eat the zooplankton. Then parrotfish, triggerfish, and butterfly fish, they eat corals. And the shark eats the 3 types of fish. Look at the answer right here. Let's read this part together. Okay. Mustafa,
Yes, mister.
can you read this part, please? I need you all to pay attention. Read this part.
The
Algae,
eels produce
algae or
algae.
algae, yes.
the algae produce their own food. The zooplankton come and sea
Clam.
urchins eat the algae and
Diatoms,
diatoms.
yes.
The sea star feeds on the clam.
Clam,
Coral feeds on zooplankton and is eaten by butterfly fish,
yes.
tigerfish, and triggerfish and
parrotfish. Then
the shark eats these 3 different fish.
the shark eats these 3 different fish. So now you know how, do you know which organisms eat other organisms? Thank you, Mustafa.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, then let's move to the next part. It says plant life. Select all the statements that correctly describe plants and their relationship with the sun. So these statements, some of them are correct, describing the plants and their relationship with the sun, while some are wrong. I need you to select the correct statements. Okay? Yet, the first statement, is it true or not about the plants and the sun?
Plants need the sun to make their own food. True.
True. Okay, so this is correct. Thank you. Abdurrahman Al-Harbi.
Yes.
Letter B.
Plants need the sun to produce water. No.
No, this is wrong. Thank you. Zaid, C.
Yes, mister. Plants use the sun to defend against producer.
Predators. These are not producers. This is predators. Yes.
True.
True. How?
Because the plant take the sun to the predator eat it.
So this is defending against the predator?
defend false.
So this is false. Thank you. Mahmoud, letter D.
Yes, Mister. Plant use the sun to make energy true or true.
This is true. Thank you. Okay. Iyad, letter E.
Plants will die if there is not enough sunlight. True.
This is true. Thank you.
But
Mustafa Abdul Azim.
Yes, Mister. Plants will die if there is too much sunlight. No. Yes.
Yes.
No, it will not. Yes, it will.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Too much sunlight will damage parts of the plant. Thank you. So this is also correct. Thank you, Mustafa. Okay, let's move to the next part. What would happen to life on Earth if there were no sun? What would happen to life on Earth if there were no sun? Ice.
Yes.
Yes.
What will happen to it will stay always night.
We are asking
And
about life.
life will be cold.
The
Will be
answer
cold.
related to what we study. We are talking about the plants, the animals.
Oh, yeah.
So what will happen in the absence of the sun? If
The
there is
plants
no
will
sun,
die. The
What?
plants will die.
then what happens next?
Animals
Will have nothing to eat, so they will also die, right?
yeah, they will die.
Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, grade 5, then let's move to the last activity. This is activity number 4, evaluate like a scientist. Forms of energy. This is very important. We have two forms of energy, potential energy and the kinetic energy. Potential is when the organism is at rest. So like putting a cup of water on the table, this is potential energy. The cup is in its place, it is not moving. So it has energy stored inside it. But the word kinetic means the object itself is in motion or moving. So it have another form of energy called the kinetic energy. These are the two forms of energy. Each situation of these situations is an example of potential or kinetic energy. Match the correct form of energy to each example it represents. So again, we are matching the forms of energy. These are different situations that describe examples of potential and kinetic energy. So now I need you to pick one situation and tell us, is it kinetic or potential? Is the object is at rest or in its place, or the object is moving? If it is at rest, this is potential energy. If the object is moving, this is kinetic energy. Okay, so let's start. Mahmoud. A
Mister,
battery.
I don't understand what means potential and kinetic.
This is what I have just said, Mahmoud. Potential energy means when the object is at rest, it has potential energy. Now you are sitting in a chair, right? You have potential energy. When you start walking, running, playing, you have kinetic energy.
Okay, I understand.
You now understand? So the first situation, Mahmoud, it says a battery is sitting on a shelf in a store. Is it
Phonetical.
potential or kinetic?
Phonetical.
What?
Phonetical. Botanical.
Potential energy. Potential
Yes,
energy.
potential. Yes.
So this is potential energy because the battery is not moving, it is sitting on a shelf, right? Thank you, Mahmoud. Abdurrahman Al-Harbi.
A car is roasting down a hill. That's a kinetic.
Where is this one? We need this one. A car is parked near the top of a hill.
It's on potential.
Potential. The car is parked near the top of the hill. This is
Yes, correct.
potential. Okay, thank you.
You could take a meeting.
Okay. Then Mustafa Abdul Azim.
Yes, mister. The
Yes.
sun is shining during the day. It's kinetic.
Kinetic. Excellent. Thank you. Iyad.
Yes, mister.
Yes. The next one, a battery.
A battery is hooked up to a lighted
Light bulb or lamp. Yes.
It is kinetic.
Kinetic energy. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Mahmoud. A car.
A car is coasting down a long hill. Kinetic energy.
Yes, this is kinetic or
A kinetic.
potential.
Kinetic.
Coasting means it is on the coast. It
What
is
means
not-
coast?
Coast means that like the shoreline, when you go to the beach, this is called the coast.
Oh yeah. No. It's phonetic. Phonetical.
Potential or kinetic.
Wait. I don't know what means coasting.
Huh? Is it
I don't know
potential
what
or
means of
kinetic?
costing. I don't know what it means of costing, Mister.
Okay, I told you coasting, this is near the coast. The coast is
It's
the shore,
punishing-
like when you go to the
punishing-
beach, the road.
Pollution.
Easy, Mahmoud. Easy. Think about it, do not rush.
It's punishing. Or
It's
political.
called the potential. Potential.
Okay, thanks.
And it is not potential.
Okay.
So, this kinetic energy, it is moving on the coast. Thank you, Mahmoud. Okay. Abdurrahman Al-Harbi.
Yes.
Yes, the ground is cooling
ground
off
is
at
cooling.
night.
Potential.
Sure.
Yes, I think.
So this form of energy, it is in place or it is cooling off?
It's kinetic.
Kinetic energy. Thank you. This kinetic energy. This is the end of activity number 4. Thank you guys. Thank you all.